Different people hear music differently, which is kind of the best part. So I'm not gonna lie, this question is a little bit outside of my area of expertise, but I'm gonna take a crack at it nonetheless. Just for clarification, my area of expertise is really in music theory, which really involves the study of music, of the way that music is composed, the way that music is put together, different systems for putting music together and for understanding how music is put together, classifying music. Music theorists do a lot of these kinds of things. Whereas this question, which is about polyphonic perception, really goes to music cognition, which is a group of often musicians, but could just be psychologists and cognitians, people who study the way the brain works, looking at how people understand and receive music. Now, music theory and music cognition, there's a lot of overlap in what we do. And so certainly I have some background in cognition, but I am not a cognitive scientist by any stretch of the imagination. So that's my caveat for this. So the question is, when it comes to polyphonic perception, does that refer to the ability to sort out separate voices within a counterpoint framework? Or is it just sort of hearing them by default? I don't know if the literature on the perception of polyphonic music has actually really delved in depth into that question, but it's a really good one and definitely deserves some further study. What I can tell you is this: there are definitely some musicians who have the ability to do certain things, as you say, by default. They just sort of can do it. They roll out of bed in the morning and they can just do it. There are other musicians who have to really attend to or pay attention to whatever's happening in the music to be able to do it, but do have the skill when they make the decision to pay close attention to the music. A really good example of this, sort of an extreme example, might be a person who has perfect pitch versus a person who doesn't. I do not. So if I played a piece of music that changes key for a person who has perfect pitch, they would very easily be able to tell that it's in one key. And even if they weren't paying particularly close attention to it, they would be able to sort of check in later and go, oh, that's a different key. Whereas I, with someone without perfect pitch, would have to really pay attention to the music. And I could definitely hear the key change when it happens, but I'd really have to be paying attention to the music. If it was something that was just on in the background, I might miss it. And so it's something that I have to attend to. Now, I've cultivated the skill of being able to do it, but I still have to be paying attention in order to do it. Whereas someone with perfect pitch, they could just roll out of bed in the morning and they can just do it all day and it would not be a problem for them. So that's true across multiple, abilities within the musical realm, where some people just, that's the way that they hear music and that's sort of automatically where their brain goes. And for other people, they really have to force themselves to think about it in order to be able to do it. So it really just comes down to how we naturally hear music when we listen to it. And that's going to differ from person to person.